Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure is not my own. Today's adventure is my friend Jerrod, who returns to the Disneyland Resort for the first time in over a year to see his new home collection at WonderGround Gallery.
So I think the main thing that's been keeping me from visiting the park in the past year has been one, I don't want to get sick, that's for sure. And I've been avoiding public spaces for the most part, other than like the grocery store and anything essential. The other thing was there wasn't really anything for me to do at downtown Disney other than just to visit and soak in sort of that Disney atmosphere. Granted, I did definitely miss that and continue to miss that. It was fun to watch from afar, but I was able to sort of wait until I had a good reason to show up. Coming back to WonderGround, especially at this point, after a rather tumultuous year with the pandemic, but also with WonderGround closing temporarily and with its future being sort of uncertain, it was very nice to come back to see familiar faces. And on top of that, to see so much of my product on display, plus everything they were using as far as promotion, from new paneling on the walls to the banners all being mine this time, which was just, under normal circumstances, that would be thrilling. But to have this being like the homecoming to downtown Disney and to WonderGround made it even more sort of impactful and emotional for me. Anytime I do a project for Disney, it's exciting. Just working with the company is exciting. But to have merchandise, create artwork for them and have it show up in the galleries and online and various sort of retail outlets for them, that's always exciting. But to be at the location, to see the stuff on the shelf is a huge reward for me, more so than I think I ever thought it would be. It's just the fact that these things exist, that in some tiny way you are part of the Disney culture, the Disney history. It's just sort of cemented when you see these things on a shelf in a store. So to see these banners and all these other things and all the promotion that's going around this current line has been just overwhelming.
How's it feel? A lot of firsts today.
A lot of firsts. Other than the anxiety of being out in the world, it's great to see my store.
Yeah. Could you ever imagine that this is where it would go after that first gig?
No, not at all. And I just wish that it were more normal time to sort of take it all in a bit more. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy that it exists.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well deserved.
Thank you. Seeing Disney's California Adventure again, being in the park, was just a mix of emotions, a flood of emotions, really. I haven't been even to downtown Disney in the year, so to come back and to be able to walk in that park and on a relatively crowded day, it felt strangely normal and strangely new at the exact same time. It was great to, of course, see a familiar place, a place that I love very much, but to see it in a way that we're not going on rides, we're not doing a restaurant, we're not going to, certain attractions or shows. You definitely felt that missing, but it was so nice to see people who just wanted to be there, and whether that's just eating a churro or buying a balloon, it's a reminder of how powerful and important not only Disney but these parks specifically are to the community. And it really is the community, because these are locals that are coming, that are making this part of their day on a Tuesday afternoon at noon to bring the family down here just to wander around. It was sad to see things not all up and operational, but very heartwarming to see everyone enjoying just the atmosphere. One of the things that struck me was how beautiful the park looked, and it could just be that I haven't been there for so long. Everything looked gorgeous. The trees were blooming with the cherry blossoms, very pink in the middle around that hub area. And while it was beautiful to see that in DCA, which is a very pretty park in its own right, it made me miss Disneyland even more. To think that if we're seeing this park with so much emotion, just thinking about Disneyland being over there and having a similar blossoming happening over there that we can't see or witness right now, was both, it was exciting, but it was heartbreaking as well, because it made me miss Disneyland, my home, even more. So it was great to be back. It made me a little sad to think about Disneyland being just across the way there, not being able to go in, but knowing that stuff is still happening over there. It's still existing, as if it's alive, and we just can't witness it. So it really was great to be back, but it made me miss the park in a way I didn't think I was really missing it. Seeing Disneyland behind bars is tough. And that's exactly what it feels like. That here's this thing that I've been going to so much in the past year leading up to this pandemic, and to suddenly have it be off limits in a way that it never has before is just heartbreaking. One, to know that, but two, to walk up to the gates, as close to the gates as you can get at this point. Again, it's driving the point home of how much I miss it in a way that just seeing it on the news or seeing other people's photos of it can't quite capture. So it really hit home to be standing there in front of the gates.
Here's a thought for you. Yeah. The last time that you and I hung out in Disneyland, we met about right here. That's right. Probably about right here is where we met.
Morning.
I'm not a big fan of the morning. We're so spoiled doing this at night.
What is this? I don't understand anything.
I think what I miss most about now going to the park over this past year, well, I love everything about Disneyland, as we've discussed on the podcast over and over again. I think really it's visiting it with friends, visiting it with people. I think one of the most heartbreaking aspects of the past year and not being able to visit the parks is that Galaxy's Edge was just getting started. We were just getting going with Galaxy's Edge and all things Batuu, and it was taken away from us. There was some talk of it being sort of a bumpy start, but I've loved it from day one. And seeing it sort of evolve in just a short amount of time, whether that's just with the rides or just crowds and how many people would fill up that area around the Falcon, it's been a joy. And I feel like the one good thing about it is that it's sort of been renewed. It'll be like visiting a new park all over again when we're able to go back. And I just can't wait to get back to Galaxy's Edge. And well, I do want to ride Rise of the Resistance again. Just being in that area, just experiencing that atmosphere is something that I think, well, strangely, for it being so new, will really feel like being back in the park again. And I miss the fact that living so close now, I could drop in. I could just drop in like visiting a friend. I didn't think I'd miss it as much as I do, but being so close and not being able to go is just killing me.
First reaction.
Amazing. That's
right?
Ridiculous.
Right?
I gotta do it again. Like, that sucks that you can't just do it again. So much in there. That's like 5 rides.
Could you imagine the last year having not done that?
Nope. I'd be crying for that park to open.
Yeah.